At the beginning of the drama, we are introduced to the main female lead, Song, who is a doctor at one of the city's biggest hospitals. However, today is her last day there because she has finally decided to quit her job. The truth is, becoming a doctor was never her dream. She only chose this career because of her family's expectations. After working for so long in a profession she never truly loved, she has finally had enough and decides to start a new chapter in her life. Then we are introduced to the male lead, Soo Jing, who is the captain of a fire rescue department. Not only is he incredibly handsome, but he's also a talented, smart, and highly respected rescue captain. And before you say I'm calling every male lead handsome, I'm not. The director clearly made him this handsome, so I can't ignore the facts. After that, we see Song leaving the hospital with all of her belongings. While walking down the street, she notices a young woman crying helplessly. It turns out the woman's pet dog has fallen from her apartment and is now trapped in a dangerous spot where no one can reach it. Song immediately thinks about calling the rescue department for help. Luckily, at that exact moment, Soo Jing happens to be passing by. Since rescuing people and animals is part of his job, he quickly assesses the situation and effortlessly brings the frightened dog down to safety. During the rescue, the dog injures one of its paws, so Song kneels down and gently treats the wound with medicine. As she carefully takes care of the little dog, Soo Jing can't help but notice how kind and beautiful she looks. For a brief moment, he finds himself staring at her. Just then, Soo Jing receives an urgent phone call. Since duty comes first, he has no choice but to leave immediately. A few moments later, Song looks around hoping to thank the man who helped save the dog, but Soo Jing has already disappeared. Later that day, Soo Jing returns home, where his parents have some unexpected news for him. They tell him that he's no longer young and that they've already arranged a blind date for the next day. Whether he likes it or not, they expect him to meet the girl. Meanwhile, Song meets up with her best friend and tells her about her own blind date. She makes it very clear that she has absolutely no interest in getting married right now. In fact, she plans to behave so badly during the date that the man will never want to meet her again. She jokes that she'll leave such a terrible impression that he'll think twice before agreeing to another blind date. Then we see Soo Jing training with his best friend Lou at a boxing gym. While they're practicing, Lou tells him that his grandfather has also arranged a blind date for him and insists that he must attend. Soo Jing doesn't want to get married either, but because the request comes from his beloved grandfather, he reluctantly agrees to go. The next day finally arrives, and Song heads to the restaurant for her blind date. To her complete surprise, the man waiting for her is none other than Soo Jing, the handsome firefighter she met the day before. The moment she sees him, Song silently admits that her mother's choice is surprisingly handsome, but she quickly reminds herself why she came here. No matter how attractive he is, her goal is still the same: make sure this blind date fails. She sits down across from Soo Jing, who politely begins asking about her name and background. However, Song intentionally answers every question with a cold and rude attitude. She doesn't even try to be friendly. After the introductions are over, she hands him her business card and casually tells him that the blind date is over. She says he can call her later and let her know his decision. Without waiting for another word, she confidently gets up and walks away. Soo Jing is left sitting there in complete confusion. He can't believe she simply came, spoke for a few minutes, and left. Then he smiles to himself, thinking that it doesn't really matter because he isn't interested in marriage either. After leaving the restaurant, Song meets her best friend again. Her friend eagerly asks how the blind date went. Song admits that the guy was actually very handsome, but because she treated him so coldly, she's sure he'll never contact her again. Her friend owns a small cafe, and since they have run out of several supplies, she asks Song to stop by the market and buy everything they need. Song happily agrees and heads to the market. Coincidentally, Soo Jing is shopping there as well. While carrying his groceries, a few packs of women's sanitary pads accidentally fall out of Soo Jing's shopping bag. Just then, Song walks by and notices them. Without knowing the real reason, she immediately assumes he must already have a girlfriend and that he's buying those products for her. Feeling annoyed, Song walks over and sarcastically tells him that he should have mentioned he already had a girlfriend instead of wasting her time on a blind date. After saying that, she turns around and leaves without giving him a chance to explain. Once again, Soo Jing is completely speechless. He has no idea why this girl keeps misunderstanding him and acting so strangely. The scene then shifts to Song's house, where her mother has already found out how badly Song behaved during the blind date. Furious, she scolds her daughter for being so rude. However, Song pays almost no attention to her mother's lecture and simply ignores the criticism. Meanwhile, Soo-jing is enjoying a small gathering with his rescue team. During the party, someone delivers a package addressed to him. Curious, he opens the box only to find several women's personal items inside. His colleagues immediately burst into surprise, while Soo-jing stands there completely confused. As he looks further into the package, he notices Song's business card inside. At that moment, he instantly realizes that this strange gift could only have been sent by her. Later, Song discusses her future with her best friend. Since she has already left the hospital, she knows she needs to find a new job. But apart from being a doctor, she has no experience in any other profession. After thinking about it carefully, she decides that becoming a volunteer doctor would be the perfect choice. Instead of staying inside one hospital every day, she would travel to different places, participate in medical camps, and help people who truly need treatment. Her friend is very happy to hear this decision and fully supports her. Around the same time, one of Soo-jing's fellow firefighters suddenly becomes ill and has to be admitted to the hospital. Watching this happen makes Soo-jing realize that his entire rescue team should receive proper medical training. That way, if an emergency happens during a rescue mission, they will know how to treat each other before professional medical help arrives. Later, Song visits one of her old professors. The professor tells her that although she has resigned from the hospital, he has a special opportunity for her. He asks if she would be interested in working as a volunteer doctor. The offer is exactly what Song had been hoping for. Without even thinking twice, she happily accepts it. The very next day, Song packs her belongings and heads toward a rescue base to begin her new journey as a volunteer doctor, completely unaware that fate is about to bring her face to face with Soo-jing once again. It turns out that he's the head captain of the entire rescue department. Both of them are shocked to see each other again, but instead of greeting one another, they pretend they've never met before. Without saying a word, they simply ignore each other and walk away. A little later, another volunteer tells Song that Soo-jing is the leader of the rescue team. Hearing this, Song sighs to herself and thinks, "What kind of bad luck is this? No matter where I go, I end up meeting this guy. After everything that happened between us, who knows how badly he'll treat me now?" Meanwhile, Soo-jing begins inspecting all of the volunteers and checking their luggage. When he reaches Song, he quietly tells her that because of what she did to him before, he was extremely embarrassed in front of everyone. Now, it's finally her turn, so she should prepare herself. After saying that, he simply walks away, leaving Song wondering what he has planned. Later, while Song is in the restroom, she overhears a few female volunteers chatting. They can't stop talking about how handsome Captain Soo-jing is. One of them even says that despite being so attractive, he's still single and doesn't have a girlfriend. Hearing this, Song can't help but smile a little. For some reason, she seems unexpectedly happy to hear that. Then we see Song giving medical training to all the volunteers. She is teaching everyone basic first aid when suddenly the power goes out and the entire room becomes pitch black. In the darkness, Song accidentally bumps into a skeleton model, causing its skull to fall onto the floor. One of the girls notices the skull and gets so frightened that she screams and throws it away with all her strength. The flying skull is heading straight towards Song, but just as it's about to hit her, the lights come back on. At that exact moment, Soo-jing rushes forward and catches Song in his arms to protect her. The unexpected embrace creates a surprisingly romantic moment, and everyone around them immediately starts cheering and teasing the two. Embarrassed, Song quickly pulls herself away from Soo-jing. However, she had grabbed onto his uniform so tightly that part of his shirt ends up getting torn. A little later, the two of them are alone in another room. Song notices the tear in his shirt and tells him to take it off so she can apply some medicine to the scratches underneath. Soo-jing teases her by asking if she won't feel embarrassed. Song confidently replies that she's a doctor, so there's nothing to be embarrassed about. She tells him to stop wasting time and take off the shirt before the injury gets worse. Soo-jing finally removes it, revealing several scratches on his body. Song carefully applies medicine to each wound while standing very close to him. The atmosphere slowly becomes awkward and romantic. Just when it seems like the moment couldn't get any more romantic, Soo-jing suddenly grabs Song's hand and says he wants to do something. Hearing that, Song immediately becomes nervous. She starts wondering what this guy is planning to do. But instead of doing anything romantic, Soo-jing simply takes out a nail clipper and starts cutting her fingernails. He says that her long nails are dangerous and could accidentally scratch someone again. Song is instantly furious. She complains that he just ruined her beautiful nails. However, Soo-jing completely ignores her protests and continues cutting them anyway. Just then, Soo-jing's best friend Lou walks into the room. Seeing the two of them standing so close together, he immediately misunderstands the situation. With a mischievous smile, he wishes them good luck and says they'll continue whatever they're doing while he quietly leaves. Both Song and Soo-jing instantly become embarrassed and quickly step away from each other. Before leaving, Song angrily warns Soo-jing that if he ever does something like this again, she won't let him off so easily. After giving him a fierce glare, she storms out of the room. The following morning, Lou starts teasing Soo-jing about what happened the previous night. He repeatedly asks whether anything interesting happened between him and Dr. Song. Soo-jing immediately tells him to stop making jokes before he gets himself into trouble. However, Lou refuses to give up and directly asks whether Soo-jing has started liking Dr. Song. This time, Soo-jing simply stays silent, making Lou smile even more because silence often says more than words. Later, Song is quietly eating in the cafeteria when Soo-jing suddenly walks over to her. Without saying much, he places a carton of milk in front of her and tells her to drink it because she looks too weak. Before Song can even react, he simply turns around and leaves. Song watches him walk away in complete surprise. She never expected such a caring side from him. After that, Soo-jing gathers all the volunteers and hands each of them a walkie-talkie. He carefully explains how to use it and gives everyone a short lesson on proper communication during rescue missions. Unfortunately, Song barely remembers anything he taught. That night, she sits alone in her room trying to figure out how the walkie-talkie works. Since she's completely confused, she contacts another volunteer named Yuan and starts asking her for help. Yuan patiently explains everything she remembers. While chatting, the conversation slowly shifts towards Soo-jing. Yuan says she still can't believe that someone as handsome as Captain Soo-jing is still single. Without thinking, Song immediately agrees with her. However, just then another female volunteer interrupts them over the shared radio channel. She reminds them that the walkie-talkies are not private phones and that everyone in the rescue camp can hear every single word they're saying. The two girls freeze in embarrassment. A moment later, Soo-jing's voice comes through the walkie-talkie as well. He calmly tells them that since they used the emergency communication system for personal gossip and disturbed everyone else, both of them will receive punishment the next day. The moment Song hears that, she starts panicking. She has no idea what kind of punishment Captain Soo-jing is planning for her. The next morning, Soo-jing orders Song to clean an entire room as punishment. After she finishes cleaning, he immediately puts her through a series of intense physical training exercises as well. The training is much harder than Song expected. Before long, she starts feeling sick and her stomach begins hurting badly. Soo-jing quietly notices that something is wrong, although he doesn't say anything at the time. During the break, Song returns to her room to rest. She accidentally falls asleep and doesn't wake up until late at night. When she opens the door, she's surprised to find Soo-jing standing outside with medicine in his hand. Without saying much, he simply hands her the medicine and tells her to take it before walking away. Watching him leave, Song can't help but smile to herself. She thinks, "What a strange guy. One moment he punishes me without mercy, and the next moment he quietly takes care of me." The following day, everyone heads into the mountains for a hiking and rescue training exercise. While climbing, Soo-jing suddenly notices several loose rocks rolling straight towards Song. Without even thinking about his own safety, he immediately rushes in front of her and shields her from the falling rocks. Thanks to him, Song remains unharmed, but Soo-jing injures his leg in the process. Seeing him get hurt because of her, Song immediately becomes worried. Even though he's in pain, Soo-jing continues climbing until they finally reach the top. As soon as they stop, Song examines his injured leg and seriously tells him that he should visit a hospital before the injury becomes worse. However, Soo-jing doesn't take her advice seriously. He casually says it's only a minor injury and that it'll heal on its own. But Song refuses to let him ignore it. She asks Lou to take Soo-jing to the hospital immediately. Since she won't back down, Soo-jing is eventually forced to go with Lou. After a full checkup, the doctor tells them that the injury isn't serious. As long as Soo-jing takes his medicine and gets some rest, he'll recover without any problems. Meanwhile, the rescue team suddenly realizes that 2 volunteers are missing in the mountains. They immediately call Soo-jing and inform him that Song and another girl haven't returned yet. The moment Soo-jing hears Song's name, he rushes out of the hospital without a second thought. Lou quickly shouts after him, reminding him that his leg is still injured and that he should slow down. But Soo-jing completely ignores him and continues running toward the mountain. At the same time, Song accidentally slips and falls into a small ravine. She injures herself and finds it impossible to climb back out. She tells the other volunteer to search for help while she waits below. The girl immediately runs off to find someone. A little while later, Soo-jing searches through the area looking for Song. As he's walking, he notices a knife lying on the ground. Recognizing it as something Song was carrying earlier, he instantly realizes she's somewhere nearby. He begins shouting her name over and over. Hearing his voice, Song immediately calls back, telling him that she's trapped below. Without even stopping to think, Soo-jing jumps straight down into the ravine to reach her. Unfortunately, the impact causes his injured leg to get hurt all over again. Seeing this, Song becomes worried and asks why he would risk making his injury even worse just to save her. Soo-jing smiles and tells her that once he knew she was in danger, there was no way he could simply stand by and do nothing. Hearing those words makes Song's heart race. Although she doesn't say it out loud, she's genuinely touched by his concern. Just then, heavy rain begins pouring down. With nowhere else to go, the two of them struggle through the storm until they find a small, abandoned cabin where they can take shelter. While waiting for the rain to stop, Song curiously asks Soo-jing whether he really doesn't have a girlfriend. Soo-jing honestly replies that he's been single all this time. He then asks Song if she has a boyfriend. Song smiles and explains that while she was working as a doctor, she was always too busy to date anyone. Because of that, she's never had a boyfriend either. Their quiet conversation is interrupted when the owner of the small cabin arrives. The scene then cuts to the hospital. It turns out the cabin owner contacted the rescue team and helped both of them get safely back. Later, Lu looks at Soo-jing with a suspicious smile. He reminds Soo-jing how desperately he ran out of the hospital the moment he heard that Song was missing. Lu jokingly says that doesn't look like normal concern. To him, it looks exactly like someone who's fallen in love. Soo-jing immediately denies it. Lu refuses to believe him and directly asks whether he likes Song. This time, Soo-jing simply remains silent. Seeing his reaction, Lu changes the question and asks whether he thinks Song likes him. Soo-jing honestly admits that he has no idea. Lu confidently says that if Song really likes him, she'll come to visit him very soon. Soo-jing asks what will happen if she doesn't. Lu laughs and confidently replies that she definitely will. Only a few moments later, Song actually walks into Soo-jing's room. Seeing his prediction come true, Lu quietly excuses himself and leaves the two of them alone. Song has brought some homemade soup for Soo-jing. She personally feeds him the soup with her own hands, making the atmosphere between them feel much warmer than before. The next day marks the beginning of everyone's vacation. However, Soo-jing receives an urgent work assignment and has to travel to another city. Before leaving, he goes to meet Song so he can say goodbye. Unfortunately, Song isn't in her room because she has gone to meet Soo-jing at the exact same time. The two of them unknowingly miss each other. Soo-jing repeatedly calls Song's phone, but she accidentally left it in her room, so she never hears it ringing. Since his flight is about to leave, Soo-jing has no choice but to head to the airport without seeing her. A little later, Song returns to her room and notices that Soo-jing called her several times. She immediately calls him back. Sadly, by then Soo-jing has already boarded his flight, and his phone is switched off. The scene then shifts to Song returning home. She becomes increasingly annoyed with Soo-jing. She complains that he was the one who called her first, yet now he isn't answering her calls. On top of that, he left without even meeting her once before going to another city. Several days later, Soo-jing finally returns after completing his work. Lu comes to pick him up. On the way, Lu asks why Soo-jing never answered any of his calls while he was away. Instead of replying, Soo-jing immediately takes out his phone and tries sending a message to Song. To his surprise, the message won't go through. After checking again, he realizes that Song has blocked his number. Completely confused, Soo-jing wonders what he could have possibly done to make her so angry. Meanwhile, Song is helping her best friend at the cafe. Suddenly, a heavy object begins falling from above. Before it can hit her, Soo-jing rushes forward and shields her with his own body. Although Song is safe, Soo-jing badly injures his waist during the rescue. Seeing him appear out of nowhere, Song is both shocked and worried. She immediately asks what he's doing there. The next scene shows Soo-jing admitted to the hospital. While receiving treatment, he finally asks Song why she blocked his number. Song honestly explains that she became angry because he left without meeting her. She also tried calling him afterward, but since he never answered, she assumed he had ignored her on purpose. Soo-jing quickly apologizes and explains the misunderstanding. He tells her that an urgent assignment forced him to leave for another city, and by the time she called, he was already on the plane with his phone turned off. Outside the hospital room, Lu and Song's best friend start talking. Lu suddenly realizes that this misunderstanding was the real reason Soo-jing had been in such a bad mood. Song's friend then asks who Lu is. Lu proudly introduces himself as Soo-jing's best friend. She smiles and replies that she's Song's best friend. Just then, Song receives a phone call. The caller asks where she is. Song tells him she's at the hospital. The young man replies that he's already nearby and will come to see her immediately. After Song hangs up, Soo-jing curiously asks who she was talking to. Still annoyed at him, Song simply smiles and says, "Why should I tell you?" A few moments later, the young man arrives at the hospital. His name is Hee. When he sees Song's best friend outside the room, he asks where Song is, and she points him toward the hospital room. As soon as he walks inside, Song is pleasantly surprised to see him. However, the person who's even more surprised is Soo-jing. Confused, he immediately asks who this guy is. Wanting to make Soo-jing a little jealous after everything that happened between them, Song casually smiles and replies that he's a very close friend of hers. Then, with a playful expression, she tells Soo-jing that just like he has Lou, she also has someone very important by her side. Meanwhile, he gently takes Song away with him, leaving Soo-jing standing there watching them together. Seeing another man so close to Song makes Soo-jing unbelievably jealous. Lou notices the expression on Soo-jing's face and immediately starts teasing him. He jokingly says that Song has already slipped out of his hands. Without thinking, Soo-jing blurts out that there's no way he's going to let her go that easily. The moment those words leave his mouth, Lou raises an eyebrow and asks what he just said. Realizing what he revealed, Soo-jing immediately goes silent. Lou laughs and tells him that if that's how he really feels, then he should stop wasting time and confess his feelings before someone else steals Song away. The next day, Song is working at her friend's clothing store when Soo-jing suddenly arrives. Surprised to see him, Song asks why he's there. Soo-jing casually explains that he came to repair the shelf that almost fell on her the previous day. He says he doesn't want it to become dangerous again. Of course, that's only an excuse. The real reason he came was simply because he wanted to see Song. After chatting for a while, Song suddenly asks if he'd like to go somewhere with her. Soo-jing immediately agrees without even asking many questions. Soon, the two of them arrive at a club together. Song tells Soo-jing to wait outside for a little while because she has to meet someone first. After waiting for quite some time, Soo-jing becomes curious and decides to go inside. The moment he enters the club, he sees Song dancing very closely with another man. The sight instantly fills him with jealousy. Unable to control himself, Soo-jing walks over, pulls Song away from the man, and asks what she's doing. Song quickly explains that she's not there for fun. She's actually waiting to meet an important client. Right then, the client arrives. Song takes Soo-jing with her into a private room for the business meeting. While Song discusses work with the client, Soo-jing quietly sits nearby, becoming more and more jealous every time Song smiles or speaks warmly to the man. Feeling frustrated, he keeps drinking one glass after another. Eventually, he can't take it anymore. He grabs Song's hand and takes her outside. Standing face to face, the distance between them grows smaller and smaller. Just as Soo-jing gathers the courage to kiss her, he suddenly becomes dizzy from all the alcohol and ends up throwing up on Song instead. The romantic atmosphere disappears instantly. The next morning, both of them wake up lying in the same bed. Soo-jing isn't wearing a shirt, and when he notices Song sleeping beside him, he panics. A moment later, Song wakes up as well. Completely embarrassed, Soo-jing nervously asks what happened the previous night. Wanting to tease him a little, Song refuses to answer. Instead, Soo-jing goes to freshen up. When he walks back out of the bathroom, he's wearing one of Song's oversized nightshirts because his own clothes were ruined the night before. He once again begs Song to tell him what happened. Finally, Song explains everything. After Soo-jing got drunk, she struggled to bring him all the way back to her apartment. Since the apartment only has one bedroom, they had no choice but to sleep on the same bed. However, nothing romantic happened between them. Hearing that, Soo-jing secretly looks a little disappointed. Deep down, he had been hoping that maybe something special had happened. Later, Soo-jing returns to the rescue department while Song goes back to helping at the clothing store. Business at the shop has been very slow lately. Song's best friend comes up with an idea. She suggests hiring a handsome male model to wear the clothes during live streams and help promote the products. Song immediately likes the idea and calls Hee to come over. Once he arrives, the two of them begin a live broadcast together, showing off different outfits. Meanwhile, Lou calls Soo-jing and casually mentions that Song is currently live streaming with Hee. The moment Soo-jing watches the broadcast, his jealousy returns. Without wasting another second, he heads straight to the clothing store. Meanwhile, he suggests taking some promotional photos. He asks Song to change into a beautiful nightdress for the photo shoot. Song returns wearing an elegant nightdress. Just as she's about to pose for the camera, Soo-jing suddenly rushes in and quickly covers her with a jacket. Song is completely confused and asks what he's doing. Soo-jing immediately replies that he should be the one asking that question. He asks why she's wearing such revealing clothes in front of other people. Song simply tells him that it's her job, and she has every right to do it. Soo-jing stubbornly replies that he won't allow it. Then, without warning, he steps directly in front of the camera. Watching this, Song suddenly gets a brilliant idea. In the next scene, she has Soo-jing change into a matching night outfit. Instead of photographing her alone, they begin taking romantic couple photos together. This time, Soo-jing doesn't object at all. The photos and live stream become a huge success. Sales at the store increase dramatically, making everyone extremely happy. Later, Song starts reading through all the comments left by viewers. To her surprise, most of the comments aren't even about the clothes. Instead, almost every girl is complimenting Soo-jing, calling him handsome, cool, charming, and incredibly attractive. As Song continues reading, she suddenly feels a little jealous. Without realizing it herself, she's clearly beginning to fall for Soo-jing. Meanwhile, after returning to the rescue department, Lu sees the couple photos and laughs. He tells Soo-jing that everything seems to be going perfectly now and encourages him to confess before it's too late. Then Lu hands him 2 movie tickets. Since Lu doesn't have a girlfriend, he tells Soo-jing to take Song instead. Hearing that, Soo-jing happily accepts the tickets. Soon afterward, he meets Song and casually asks if she'd like to watch a movie with him. To his surprise, Song immediately agrees. On the day of their date, Song arrives at the theater much earlier than necessary because she's genuinely excited to spend some time with Soo-jing. Unfortunately, Soo-jing gets called away on an emergency rescue mission. By the time he finishes his work, he's already very late. As soon as he arrives, he sincerely apologizes for keeping Song waiting. Instead of getting angry, Song smiles and forgives him immediately, because she understands that saving lives will always come before anything else. Afterwards, Soo-jing takes out a beautiful stone and gives it to Song. He tells her that he found it underwater during one of his rescue missions and thought it was so beautiful that he wanted to bring it back for her. Then, feeling a little nervous, Soo-jing says that he once heard whenever 2 people truly like each other, the whole world seems to stop, and even the wind begins to blow. Song laughs and says she doesn't believe something that romantic could actually happen. But almost as soon as she finishes speaking, a gentle breeze suddenly begins flowing around them. Cherry blossom petals drift through the air and softly fall over the 2 of them. Watching the beautiful scene unfold, Song smiles brightly and admits that maybe he was right after all. She says that in such a romantic atmosphere, it would be almost impossible for anyone to reject a confession. Soo-jing looks directly into her eyes and softly replies that he hopes she won't reject him either. Without waiting another moment, he gently leans forward and kisses Song. Later, while Soo-jing is training at the boxing gym, Lu walks over with a big smile and asks how his date with Song went. Without realizing it, Soo-jing excitedly blurts out that he kissed Song. Lu's eyes widen in shock. He immediately asks whether Soo-jing confessed his feelings afterward and what Song's response was. Soo-jing awkwardly scratches his head and admits that he never even got the chance to confess. He says everything happened so suddenly that he simply couldn't control himself and kissed her. Now he's worried that Song might misunderstand him and think badly of him. Meanwhile, we see Song. Surprisingly, she's reacting in the complete opposite way. Instead of feeling upset, she can't stop smiling to herself. The memory of that unexpected kiss keeps replaying in her mind over and over again, making her blush every single time she thinks about it. The next day, Lu comes up with another plan. He proudly tells Soo-jing that he has already bought 2 tickets to a haunted house. According to Lu, once Song gets scared, she'll naturally run into Soo-jing's arms. At that perfect moment, Soo-jing should finally confess his feelings. Soo-jing still seems a little nervous. He worries that if Song misunderstands him again, everything could become awkward. Lu laughs and tells him to stop overthinking. Then he jokingly threatens that if Soo-jing refuses to go, he'll simply give the extra ticket to He instead. The moment Soo-jing hears his name, he immediately changes his mind and says there's no way he's letting that happen. That evening, Soo-jing calls Song and invites her to the haunted house. Without much hesitation, Song happily agrees. Later that night, while Soo-jing is waiting outside, Lu suddenly appears. Confused, Soo-jing asks why he's there. Lu grins and admits that he invited Song's best friend as well. Since he's been single for so long, he wants to see if he can get closer to her. A few moments later, Song finally arrives. However, she isn't alone. She brings both her best friend and He with her. The moment Soo-jing sees He standing beside Song again, he instantly becomes jealous. Song simply explains that he was feeling bored by himself, so she decided to bring him along. Hearing that only makes Soo-jing even more jealous. Soon, the four of them enter the haunted house together. Ironically, the person who's the most terrified isn't Song or her friend. It's He. The moment he sees one of the scary decorations, he screams at the top of his lungs and accidentally shouts, "Auntie!" Song quickly covers his mouth before he can say anything else. Everyone looks at them in confusion and asks why he just called Song Auntie. Realizing he can't hide it anymore, he admits that Song is actually his aunt. The moment Soo-jing hears that, he finally understands the truth. Loo immediately bursts into laughter and tells Soo-jing that he can stop being jealous now because the boy isn't Song's boyfriend at all. He's actually her nephew. Song glares at He in frustration because she had secretly hoped Soo-jing would stay a little jealous. Instead, he accidentally revealed everything. Afterward, everyone splits into different groups inside the haunted house. Soo-jing's plan works out perfectly because he gets paired with Song. Unfortunately for Loo, he ends up with He instead. Poor Loo had been hoping to spend some romantic time with Song's best friend, but he gets so frightened that he keeps grabbing onto Loo's arm and refuses to let go. Meanwhile, Soo-jing and Song continue walking through the haunted house together. As another scary scene appears, the two of them naturally move closer to each other. Unable to control her feelings anymore, Song suddenly leans forward and kisses Soo-jing. The unexpected kiss completely surprises him. Immediately afterwards, Song becomes extremely shy and embarrassed. Without saying another word, she quickly grabs her best friend and rushes out of the haunted house. Soo-jing stands there frozen for several seconds before finally smiling to himself. Later that night, he sends Song a message asking if she's okay, and wondering why she suddenly left without saying anything. He waits excitedly for her reply. Minutes pass, then hours, but Song never responds. The next morning, Song notices that her foot is still hurting. She had actually injured it during the haunted house visit the previous night. When she finally turns on her phone, she notices Soo-jing's message asking if she's okay. Seeing how worried he is makes her heart warm. Instead of replying normally, she decides to tease him. She takes a picture of her injured foot and sends it to him, saying that she got hurt because of him and that it still hasn't recovered. The moment Soo-jing receives the photo, he immediately leaves work and rushes to see Song. As soon as he arrives, he gently lifts Song into his arms and carefully carries her to the sofa. Then he kneels down and carefully applies medicine to her injured foot. Throughout the entire time, Song quietly stares at him. Watching how gently he takes care of her makes her feelings for him grow even stronger. Just then, Song receives a message from He. He tells her that the college will be holding a special event the next day, and that one of her former professors personally invited her to attend. Song happily agrees. A little later, she asks Soo-jing to wait for a moment before walking into the changing room with several dresses. The truth is, she wants Soo-jing's opinion about which outfit looks best on her. After changing clothes, Song realizes she can't zip up the back of her dress by herself. Feeling embarrassed, she calls Soo-jing into the changing room. The moment he walks inside, Soo-jing becomes incredibly nervous. He slowly approaches her. Song asks him to help zip up her dress. Standing only inches away from her, Soo-jing carefully pulls the zipper upward. Being so close to Song makes his heart beat faster and faster. Unable to control his emotions, he hurriedly leaves the room the moment he's finished. The next day, Song arrives at the college for the special event. To her surprise, she runs into Rui, her former boyfriend, who is now working there as a professor. Both of them are shocked to see each other again after so many years. Rui walks over and politely asks how she's been. Song simply replies that she's doing well before heading toward the auditorium. Rui quietly follows behind her. At this point, we see several flashbacks from their college days. Back then, Song and Rui were classmates. While studying together, they gradually fell in love and dated for a long time. However, one day, during an important college event, Song waited for Rui for hours. He never showed up. The truth was that Rui had unexpectedly received an opportunity to study overseas. Instead of explaining anything to Song, he quietly left the country without even saying goodbye. That misunderstanding eventually caused their relationship to fall apart. Thinking back on those memories now, Rui deeply regrets the decision he made. After the college event ends, Song returns home. Soon afterwards, Soo-jing calls her. He tells her that the rescue team has an important mission the following day. Since she's their volunteer doctor, she needs to join them as well. Song happily agrees. The next morning, Song arrives at the rescue base. The moment Soo-jing sees her, he can't hide the smile on his face. Even the other rescue team members notice how much happier their usually serious captain becomes whenever Song is around. Soo-jing immediately invites Song to ride with him in his vehicle. However, Song playfully refuses and says she'll travel with the other volunteers in the van instead. Hearing that, Soo-jing can't hide his disappointment. On the way to the rescue mission, Song rides in the volunteers' van. While they're traveling, Yuan smiles and teasingly asks if there's something going on between her and Captain Soo-jing. She points out that ever since Song joined the rescue team, Soo-jing has been noticeably happier than usual. What Song doesn't know is that Soo-jing and Lu are listening to the conversation through their walkie-talkies. Soo-jing waits anxiously, hoping to hear Song admit that she likes him. However, Song simply smiles and says there's nothing like that between them. According to her, they're just good friends. The moment Soo-jing hears those words, his cheerful expression completely disappears. Seeing his disappointed face, Lu can't help laughing and starts teasing him. Soon, everyone arrives at the village where the rescue mission is taking place. The team works tirelessly to solve the local emergency, and after several hours, everything is finally brought under control. Just as everyone thinks the mission is over, a heavy rock suddenly falls onto Soo-jing, injuring him badly. Blood immediately begins flowing from the wound. The moment Song sees him injured, she insists on taking him to the hospital. As usual, Soo-jing brushes it off and says it's only a small injury, but Song refuses to listen. This time, she practically drags him to the hospital herself. Since the situation in the village is now stable and they're already back in the city, Song calls her best friend and asks her to bring a car so they can take Soo-jing home afterward. After examining him, the doctor says Soo-jing needs an injection. The moment Soo-jing hears the word injection, his confident attitude completely disappears. He immediately refuses. Just then, Lu walks into the room and casually tells Song that Soo-jing has always been terrified of injections. The moment his secret is exposed, both Song and Soo-jing glare angrily at Lu. Laughing to himself, Lu quietly slips out of the room. With no one left to save him, Soo-jing is forced to accept the injection. As Song gives him the shot, the fearless rescue captain cries out dramatically, making a huge fuss over something so small. Outside the room, Lu watches everything with a huge smile on his face. Around the same time, Song's best friend arrives. As she enters, she accidentally bumps into Lu. The collision causes both of them to fall onto the floor together. For a brief moment, everything around them seems to stop. The two of them simply stare into each other's eyes without saying a word. Unfortunately, their romantic moment doesn't last long because Soo-jing and Song suddenly walk out of the room and interrupt them. After leaving the hospital, Soo-jing offers to drive Song home. Song politely refuses, saying she'll go back with her best friend instead. However, Lu immediately realizes what Soo-jing is trying to do, so he cleverly drags Song's friend away with him, leaving Song with no choice but to ride home with Soo-jing. When they arrive at her apartment, Song notices that Soo-jing still hasn't taken his medicine. She invites him inside and tells him to take the medicine before leaving. Soo-jing happily accepts the invitation. Song goes to get the medicine, but when she returns a few minutes later, she discovers that Soo-jing has already fallen asleep on the sofa. Instead of waking him up, she gently covers him with a blanket and lets him rest peacefully. The following morning, Soo-jing wakes up and finds Song cooking breakfast for both of them. He immediately walks into the kitchen and tells her to sit down because he'll finish the cooking himself. Song quietly stands nearby, watching him prepare breakfast with a warm smile on her face. Soon, the two of them enjoy breakfast together. Song compliments Soo-jing's cooking and says it tastes surprisingly delicious. Hearing that, Soo-jing jokingly offers to come over every single day and cook for her. Song immediately realizes what he's trying to do. Smiling shyly, she says there's no need because she already understands his real intentions. Then she playfully pushes him out of the apartment before he can say anything else. Later, while Soo-jing is working at the rescue department, a young woman named Gao suddenly arrives. The moment Soo-jing and Lu see her, both of them look completely exhausted. Without hesitation, Gao runs over and hugs Soo-jing tightly. It's obvious that she has feelings for him. Unfortunately for her, Soo-jing doesn't feel the same way. He politely tells Gao that they're about to start an important meeting and asks her to leave for now. Then he practically escorts her out of the room himself. Afterwards, Soo-jing sends Song a message inviting her to have lunch with him. Song happily agrees. However, before meeting Soo-jing, she goes to her old college to visit one of her professors. On her way back, she unexpectedly runs into Rui again. Rui tells her that there are many things he still wants to say and asks if they can have lunch together. After thinking for a moment, Song agrees because she also feels they should clear up the misunderstandings from the past. She immediately sends Soo-jing a message apologizing and saying she's too busy today, asking if they can have lunch another time. Reading the message leaves Soo-jing feeling disappointed. Just then, Gao appears once again. Since Soo-jing's lunch plans plans have been canceled, Gao asks him to eat with her instead. This time, he reluctantly agrees. By pure coincidence, both couples end up eating at the exact same restaurant. As soon as Song sees Sujing sitting so closely with Gao, she immediately feels jealous. At the same time, seeing Song having lunch with another man makes Sujing just as jealous. Song introduces Rui to Sujing and calmly says that Rui is actually her ex-boyfriend. Hearing those words leaves Sujing completely stunned. The four of them eventually sit down and eat together. Wanting to make Song jealous, Sujing deliberately feeds Gao with his own hands. The plan works perfectly. Unable to hide her jealousy anymore, Song secretly kicks Sujing under the table. After lunch, Sujing offers to drive Song home, but Song immediately refuses. Instead, she says she'll leave with Rui. After saying that, she walks away beside her ex-boyfriend. Sujing instinctively tries to follow them. However, Gao stops him before he can go any farther. Already frustrated, Sujing finally loses his patience. He quickly puts Gao into a taxi and sends her home. Watching his reaction, Gao finally realizes that Sujing's heart already belongs to someone else. She also figures out that something serious is developing between Sujing and Song. Meanwhile, Sujing catches up with Song. He asks why she's been avoiding him and why she lied about leaving with Rui, when Rui isn't even with her anymore. Then he directly asks if she was jealous. Caught off guard, Song accidentally admits the truth. She quietly says yes. The moment Sujing hears her answer, a huge smile appears on his face. He happily admits that he was jealous too when he saw her with Rui. Finally gathering all of his courage, Sujing sincerely confesses his feelings. He looks Song in the eyes and tells her that he likes her. Song listens quietly but doesn't give him an answer. Instead, she simply turns around and walks away. Although Sujing feels a little disappointed, he doesn't chase after her because he wants to give her enough time to think. The following day, Song visits Sujing at his house because she's finally ready to give him an answer. While looking around, she suddenly notices a familiar little dog. It's the exact same dog that the two of them rescued together at the very beginning of the drama. Surprised, Song asks how the dog ended up living with him. Sujing smiles and explains that after seeing how adorable the dog was that day, he decided to adopt it himself. Song suddenly realizes something. She asks if that means he was the firefighter who rescued the dog that day. Sujing nods and asks if she really never recognized him. Song honestly admits that she never realized it. With a gentle smile, Sujing tells her that the very first time he saw her was on that day. Then, looking directly into her eyes, he softly confesses that he fell in love with her at first sight. Hearing those words makes Sujing happier than ever. Without wasting another second, the two of them share their first official kiss as a couple. They spend the entire day together, enjoying every moment of their new relationship. That evening, Sujing invites Song to his apartment for dinner. While Song is in the restroom, someone suddenly knocks on the door. When Sujing opens it, he's shocked to find Gao standing outside. She's completely drunk. With tears in her eyes, Gao asks how he could choose someone else when she has loved him for so many years. She even asks him directly if he's really dating Song. Before Sujing can explain anything, Song walks out of the restroom. The moment she sees Gao standing so close to Sujing, she misunderstands the situation. Without saying a word, she turns around and leaves. Sujing immediately tries to chase after her. Unfortunately, the drunken Gao refuses to let go of him, making it impossible for him to follow Song. The next day, Sujing visits Song to clear up the misunderstanding. He honestly explains that nothing has ever happened between him and Gao. According to him, Gao is simply his childhood friend who has always liked him. Then he looks at Song seriously and says that the only person in his heart is her. Hearing his sincere confession instantly melts Song's anger. Soon afterward, the couple returns to the rescue department. Since Song often joins dangerous rescue missions, Sujing decides to teach her Taekwondo so she can protect herself. Of course, instead of serious training, the two of them spend most of the time flirting with each other. Meanwhile, Lu and Song's best friend are also there. Lu keeps trying different ways to impress her, and little by little, she starts falling for his charms. Just then, Gao arrives at the rescue department to see Sujing. The moment she notices Song beside him, she becomes visibly annoyed. Gao asks Sujing to teach her Taekwondo as well. Before Sujing can answer, Song volunteers to train Gao herself. Thinking this is the perfect opportunity to defeat her love rival, Gao confidently accepts. Unfortunately, things don't go according to her plan. Instead of beating Song, Gao ends up getting beaten herself. She even injures her leg during the practice. Seeing her condition, Soo-jing asks Lu to take Gao to the medical room. However, Gao insists that she wants Soo-jing to accompany her instead. Soo-jing looks towards Song for permission. Song calmly tells him to go. Inside the medical room, Soo-jing finally speaks honestly. He gently tells Gao that he has never had romantic feelings for her. To him, she's only a good friend. Then he sincerely says that he truly loves Song and hopes Gao can understand before she gets hurt even more. Outside the room, he accidentally overhears the entire conversation. A little later, he happily tells Song everything Soo-jing said. Hearing those words fills Song's heart with happiness once again. Sometime later, Soo-jing visits his grandfather. His grandfather immediately starts talking about arranging his marriage with Gao. However, Soo-jing politely stops him. He tells his grandfather that he already loves another woman and wants to marry her instead. Curious, his grandfather asks when he'll finally meet the lucky girl. Soo-jing smiles and says that his grandfather already knows her because she was the same woman he arranged for his blind date. Then he promises to bring her over the very next day. The following day, Soo-jing brings Song to meet his grandfather. Song feels extremely nervous. Noticing her anxiety, Soo-jing gently comforts her, saying his grandfather is actually a very kind person. During the visit, Song behaves politely and respectfully. Her warm personality quickly wins his grandfather's heart, and he happily accepts their relationship. Meanwhile, Lu visits Song's best friend's clothing store. While she's cleaning, she accidentally loses her balance. Luckily, Lu catches her before she falls. The moment is incredibly romantic. Unfortunately, during the rescue, he accidentally breaks her glasses. Since she can barely see without them, she becomes furious. Feeling guilty, Lu immediately takes her to an optical store and buys her a brand new pair of glasses. Afterward, he even takes her shopping. When she tries on a beautiful dress, Lu can't take his eyes off her because she looks absolutely stunning. Even so, she decides not to buy it. Elsewhere, Gao is busy with a modeling photo shoot at a university. After working for hours, she grows tired and wants to leave. While trying to sneak away, she accidentally bumps into Hai. It turns out the photo shoot is taking place at his college. Recognizing him from the rescue department, Gao asks him to help her escape before the staff gives her even more work. Hai happily agrees and takes her to a club so she can relax. While they're there, one of Gao's male friends suddenly grabs her and tries to take her away. Hai immediately steps in to stop him. When the man asks who he is, Hai blurts out that he's Gao's boyfriend. Even Gao is surprised by his answer. The man quietly leaves without causing any trouble. Afterward, Gao and Hai spend a wonderful evening together. When Gao returns home that night, she can't stop thinking about Hai. The next day, Gao returns to his college for another photo shoot. This time, Hai is the photographer. During the shoot, Gao wears a mermaid costume. Unfortunately, she accidentally gets injured and begins sinking into the water. Without thinking twice, Hai jumps into the pool to save her. The only problem is that he doesn't know how to swim either. As a result, someone else has to jump in and rescue both of them. Afterward, Gao asks why he risked his life when he couldn't even swim. Hai shyly admits that he was simply worried about her. Those words completely touch Gao's heart. Back on the main couple's side, Song finally brings Soo-jing home to meet her parents. Seeing how caring, respectful, and responsible Soo-jing is, both of Song's parents immediately approve of their relationship. Meanwhile, Lu finally takes Song's best friend to a beautiful bridge. After gathering all his courage, he sincerely tells her that he loves her. Since she has already fallen for him too, she smiles and replies, "I love you too." Just like that, another couple is officially born. Meanwhile, Gao suddenly becomes sick during another photo shoot. The moment Hai hears about it, he leaves his class early and rushes straight to her house. He knocks on the door again and again, but no one answers. Worried, he's about to force the door open when Gao suddenly opens it herself. The unexpected movement causes Hai to fall onto the floor, hurting himself slightly. Even then, he completely ignores his own injury. Instead, he immediately asks if Gao is feeling all right. Seeing how much he genuinely cares about her finally convinces Gao that Hai is the right person for her. She shyly asks whether he likes her. At first, Hai becomes embarrassed and says no. Hearing that instantly breaks Gao's heart. But only a second later, Hai smiles and finally blurts out the words he has been hiding all along. "I love you." Without hesitation, Gao throws her arms around him and happily replies that she loves him too. With that, the second couple's love story officially begins. Finally, in the last scene of the drama, Song arrives at a beautiful open field. One by one, Lu, Song's best friend, Hai, and Gao also gather there. A few moments later, Soo-jing appears holding a large bouquet of flowers. He slowly walks towards Song, kneels down on one knee, and asks her to marry him. Overwhelmed with happiness, Song immediately accepts his proposal. The two of them share one final romantic kiss in front of everyone. And with all three couples finding their happy endings, this heartwarming drama comes to a perfect conclusion.